Sabbath service, SHALAM. Shapar, which means horn. John. YAHANNA, which means one. Daughter. SHALAM, which means to Israel. Shapar, which means horn again. Gun. 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 All right. That. Al-Hajrim, which means to stand. Sawa Panya Hakodam, which means to turn and face the east. Gonna do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakatka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathalanau. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalaknau. Kawathnau. Kasalakhnau. Kabwatinau. Wala. Tabi'ainau. Banasaya 1. Abal. Habashainau. Mayan. Rad. Kaya. Laka. Hamarakwa. Wa'al. Watapara. Lavalamium. Aman. In English, our Father. Good. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Akak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'amushah. Shadanawa. Akak. Akak. Laba'ah. Karmakala. Karmarawa. Akak. Lataha. Hamatazarayim. Akak. Lahakiya. Hamatiyam. Akak. Arakawa. The Tama'ala. The Garashan. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Waraman. In English, Yahweh. In the name Yahushai. Please give us power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. No manner of disease. Power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Brothers. Bless Israel in the Hebrew Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Rakanawa. Ayasharala. Mahamayasapaya. Barak. Rabah. Magan. Again, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waraman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name Yahushai. Bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushai? Why Mayaka'ah? Why Alahai? Matazab Yahah. Alawak Yahanna. Ha Alawak. Ha Suranya. Ha Kotazayanya. Ha Kayayanya. Waha Akwafia. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Waraman. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angel. Commanding General YAHANNA, the general, the captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahayim, Ayan, Yama'ah, Isaiah, Yahweh. I.S.U.P.K. Shemayim. Warataza. All your son. I'm a watch. Regalta. All yana one. Shemarta. Analaha. Yana one. Walaha. Yahishun. Shalom. Yashral. Yahweh. Shemarta. Yahweh. Tazalta. Al-Yad. Yam-Yanka. Yalma. Hashemat. La'ah. Yakakah. Wayarah. Balayallah. Yahweh. Yashamarta. Makalrai. Yashama. Aknapashta. Yahweh. Yashama. Tazahafka. Mawa'aka. Ma'aika. I lift up in English, I lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence comes my help? My help comes from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. He behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Thou is thy keeper, thou is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. Look, Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayah. Al-Dami Al-Akah. Al-Takarash. Al-Tashakwat. Kayahana. Awayabika. Yahami one. Wamashanayaka. Nasha'awa. Raj. Al-Amaka. Yariyamwa. Zawad. Wayataya Aitazawa. Al-Tasakawanyaka. Amawa. Lakawa. Wanakakira. Nagoya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shami Ashrala. Iwan. Kaya. Nawa Aitazawa. La. Yakadwa. Alika. Baya. Yakarakwa. Ahalia. Anawa. Yashma Alaya. Mawaba. Wahagaya. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Palasha. Anyashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashwar. Alawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Lubayalawa. Salah. I.S.U.P.K. Kamadian. Kasaya Sarah. Kayadian. Manakal. Wayashman. Nashamadwa. Mayanda Ara. Hayawa. Daman. La'adama. Shayatamwa. Nadayabwa. Kaira. Kazaba. Kazapak. Kazazavana. Kalnasir Kamwa. Ashar. Amawa. Nairashah. Lanawa. Nawa. Alhayab. Shayatamwa. Gagala. Kakwash. Lapanya Rakam. Kantara Dapma. Basa Irika. Wabasa Paska. Gabahalam. Mala'a. Tanyaham. Malawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka. Yahweh. Bashwa. Wayabahawa. Ayai. Wayakapara. Wayabadwa. Wayadaiwa. Kaya. Ata. Shamka. Yahweh. Labaka. Al-Yawan. Al-Kal-Ha'arakaza. In English, keep not thy silence, O power. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. O power. Below. Thine enemies make a tumult.
them lost.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
Against thy hidden one.
For they have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Israelites of Moab and Hagri, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kisar, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a road. And like that. Yea. Or the princess of Ba. And of Salmuna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the house of the power in possession. Of my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stumble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy temper. And make them afraid with thy stone. Fill their face with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. And then they know that God, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. Curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. And Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. And evils. And curses. And punishment. And destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishing destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure. Like the rich of Israel. That refuse to give to the school. Force their riches. To enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishing destruction. To the Edomites. And the nations. And their drug dealers. Court system. Prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. And like synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Kamikaze. Gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. National Space Program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marine. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. Cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of our people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction. So all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words, not the planet Earth. Let loose all the plague. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Like Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathens that come up against us. As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause we know by all.
Because we know by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it spread through the media.
Because it spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause of the shake of thy coming.
Because of the shake of thy coming.
And the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So it's turn. Which needs to be seated. We start at 8 and 18. I'm just double checking the.
All right, so the 8 verse 18.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah, Khan. That's where we start, right? Yeah, Khan. All right. Khan. Khan. Slaki, you can give me a better soda. That coffee did not really try. Slaki, could you get when you get a chance, better soda? Soda. Soda.
Soda?
Yeah.
Or
No, there should be some in the fridge.
but the ginger ale or the Coke?
Coke.
Yes, sir.
The water. Appreciate it. It's something to keep me awake. Okay, we at 18.
Salafia, sir, no Coke.
Why, the Pepsi's gone?
Yeah, the Pepsi, we got the ginger ale, look like this golden cola.
All right, give me the golden cola. God. We just need some sugar in it. All right. YAHANNA, Badarak, Malakia, Yasharala, Kashar, I.S.U.P.K, Bayab, Akaba, Kaya, Bav, Akaba, Hayata, Toa. Yeah. Yeah, come. Yeah, come. Kashar, Akaba, Kaya, Bav, Akaba, Hayata, Lawa, La Asha, Wayash, Harai, Ba'ayan, Yahweh, 19, Wala'ab, Abba, Yahweh, Laha Shakayav, Ab, Yahawada, Lamain, Dawada, Ibadwa, Ka'ashar Amar Lawa, Latav, Lawa, Nayar, Laban Yawa, Kal Hayam Yam, 20 Bayam Yawa, Pashai, Adawam, Mata Kav, Yad, Yahawada, Waya Malakwa, Yam, Malak, 21 Waya Ibar, Yawaram, Taza Yara, Wakal, Harakab, Imwa, Wayahaya, Hawa, Wam, La Yala, Wayaka, Av, Adawam, Hasabayab, Alayawa, Awav, Sharia, Harakab, Wayanas, Haim, La Yor, 22, Waya Pashai, Adawam, Matakav, Yad, Yahawada, I, Hayawam, Hazab, Ahaz, Ta Pashai, Labana, Ba'if, Hahaya, 23, Wayatar, Dabaria, Yawaram, Wakal, Ashar, Aisha, Halal, Ham, Katawabya, Ayo, Sapar, Dabaria, Hayab, La Malakia, Yahawada, 24, Waya Shakab, Yawaram, An Katuara, Abath Yoa, Waya Kwabar, An Abath Yoa, Baayar, Dawada, Waya Malak, Akaz Yahweh, Banwa, Daka Yahweh. Okay? 18 in the English. We in what is this? 2 Kings 8 and 18. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel. This is talking about, if I'm not mistaken, Ahab's son. And as did the house of Ahab. So he basically continued just like his father. Ahab is Jezebel's husband. Jezebel is a heathen who ended up being married to a Israelite king. By Israelite, I mean northern king, basically Hispanic. A Hispanic brother, I'm not sure exactly what tribe he was from. I'll look it up. Basically, he married some goddamn African and let this African walk all over him and basically, like, do all types of evil inside of the nation. So basically, their son came into power, and basically, he's no different. For the daughter, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Most High would not destroy Judah. Oh, okay, Khan. So that's my bad. Salaki, that's my bad. This isn't the king of Israel. This is the king of Judah. I forgot about that. Yeah, at one point. Now, let me explain something. It's funny, like, the nations were split, but you got this cat. This cat is the king of Judah, but his wife is the princess of Israel. Meaning, the kingdom split. So he's the king of the southern kingdom, but his wife is the princess of the northern kingdom. You understand her? Meaning, like, the kingdom split. So David's family kept one side, and then another family got control of the northern kingdom, who you call today Hispanics, or the northern tribe. The king of the southern tribe took a wife from the king of the northern tribe's kids. The king of the northern tribe, his daughter married the king of the southern tribes. God.
So you saying
that's not unlawful, obviously, because they both Israel.
So you're saying they pretty much they got the answer, so they have peace? Was they at war?
Like, at this point, not. Well, yeah. You gotta think of it not necessarily similar to how Solomon did, but what Solomon did was unlawful. Like, at the end of the day, Solomon went around saying, I want to have good relations with Egypt, so I'm going to marry their daughters, and then so on and so forth. But if we do it, it's bringing together our own nation, so it's like it's not a problem. Right? Okay, Khan. Yet the Most High would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised to give to him always a light and to his children. 20. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. So Joram went over to Zaire and all the chariots with him. And he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about. To compass, for those who don't know, a compass like goes round and round. Compass, the verb really means to encircle. Like basically to surround somebody. Come. Him about, and the captains of the chariots and the people fled into their tents. 22. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. 23. And the rest of the acts of Joram. I don't believe so. Oh, yeah, nah, I've been here since like Thursday night. The rest of the acts of Joram and all that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Those who don't know, there's 1st and 2nd Chronicles. There should be a 3rd and 4th Chronicles, but white man the devil. Just so y'all know, those would be Israel's records, but we just have Judah's. Joram, okay. Chronicles of the kings of Judah. 24. And Joram slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Ahaziah his son reigned in his stead. Now they're gonna mention it eventually, but I probably won't notice. Just so you know, one of these kings isn't a son; they're a grandson, but they're gonna label them a son. And I think Chronicles goes back and says, no, that's the grandson, because the brother gets skipped over and his son becomes king, but they don't label it as such. They say king so and so, the son of so and so. But in actuality, you go back and find out that's his grandson. So 25 here, all right? Bashanaz Shatium, Aishara, Shana, La Yawaram, Ban, Akaba, Malak, Yasharala, Malak, Akaz Yahweh, Ban, Yahwaram, Malak, Yahweh. 26. Ban, Asharayim, Washathium, Shana, Akazayahweh, Bamalakwa, Washana, Akaf, Malak, Bayarawashalam, Washam, Amwa, Aitala Bath, Maria, Malak, Yasharala. 27. Wayalak, Badarak, Bayath, Akaba, Wayash, Harai, Ba'ayanya, Yahweh, Kabayash, Yath, Akaba, Kaya, Kathan, Bayath, Akaba, Hawa'al. 28. Wayalak, Av, Yawaram, Bun, Akaba, La Malakama, Ain, Kazahal, Malak, Aram, Baramath, Galaid, Yakwa, Aram Yum, Af, Yawaram. 29. Shab, Yawaram, Hamalak, Lahatarapa, Bayazarai, Rayal, Man, Hamakyum, Ashar, Yakawa, Aramyum, Barama, Bahalakama, Bahalakama, Ab, Kazahal, Malak, Aram, Kazayawal, Ban, Yahwaram, Malak, Yahawada, Yarad, Larawaf, Av, Yawaram, Bun, Akaba, Bayazar, Rayal, Kaya, Hala, Kala, Hawa. This is what is that? 29. Khan. Wa ala yashai, ha nabaya, nabya, wara, la akad, ma banya, ha nabaya ayam, waya amar lawa, hagar, matanya, yaga, wakwak, paka, ha-shaman, haza, bayadka, walak, ramath, galai, wabaath, this is 2, shama, wara, sham, Yahweh, Salakia, Bun, Yahweh Shapat, Bun, Namashia, Waba'ath, Wahakwamath, Mathawak, Akil, Wahabayah, Athiwa, Kadar, Kadar. Kadar, goddamn. Khan. 25. In the 12th year of Jehoram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, did Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, begin to reign. 22 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. Okay, I'll look that up. That's one of the other kings. Okay, Khan. Okay, Khan. So this is the cat's, remember, like his father married a princess of Israel, and you're seeing who that is, Omri. Or Athaliah, Khan. 27. And he walked in the way of the house of Ahab, and did evil in the sight of the Most High, as did the house of Ahab. For he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. So he just followed after his father-in-law. And he went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to the war against Hazael, king of Syria, in Ramoth Gilead. And the Syrians wounded Joram. Good. 29. King Joram went back to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him at Ramah when he fought against Hazael, king of Syria, and Hazael. The king of Jehoram, the son of Salakit, and Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Jezreel, because he was sick. 9. And Elijah the prophet called one of the children of the prophets, and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thine hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. So, and when thou comest thither, look out there, Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. This is 9 and 3. Walakwakath, Pakah, Ha Shaman, Wayatazakwa, Kwaf, Ayu, Ra'ashwa, Wa'amarta, Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Mashakath, Yuka, Lamalak, Al, Yashrala, Wapatakaf, Hadarlath, Wanasata, Wala'al, Dakaka, 4, Wayalak, Hanair, Hanabaya, Ramath, Galai, 5, Wayaba, Wahanna, Sharia, Hakayo, Yashabim, Wayamar, Dabar Laya, Alyaka, Hashar, Waya Amar, Yahawa, Al Maya, Makal Noah, Waya Amar, Alayaka, Hashar, 6, Wayakwam, Wayabal, Habayatha, Wayatazak, Hashaman, Al Ra'ashwa, Waya Amar, Lawaka, Amar, Yahweh, Alahaya, Yashrala, Mashakath Yaka, La Malak al Ain Yahweh al Yasharala. 7. Wahakayath Av Bayath Akaba Adanyaka Wa Nakwamathya Damuya Ibadya Hanabaya Ayam Wa Damya Kal Ibadya Yahweh Mayad Ayazabal 8. Wa Abad Kal Bayath Akaba Wa Hakarathya La Akaba Mashaf Yil Bakwayar Wa Itazawar Wa Izawar Bayashrala. So Wanatha Yil Av Bayaz Akaba Kabayaz Yaraban Ban Nabad Wakabayaz Ba'aisha Ban Akia. Wait, Yakan, that's it. So I'm supposed to read till now, right?
It's not, so that's verse to verse 9.
Cut. Back in this English. 9 and 3. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head and say, Thus saith the Most High, I have appointed thee king over Israel. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the third lineage to rule Israel. Like the northern kingdom went through a few families of kings, right? Before they were taken out of power completely. Okay, so you're finishing about this one. Then open the door and flee and tarry not. Okay, now why is he saying to do that? More than likely. Huh? Say what?
And Salakis. Oh no, I apologize. I was just thinking out loud about the definition of tally.
Tarry.
Because I know I was just thinking out loud, saying I know that it's late. Yeah, don't hurry up and leave.
Look, you don't not necessarily sure. You can look it up. Tarry not. This is saying open the door and flee and tarry not. Shaw, you want to give it a shot?
Question?
Why does the Most High say tarry not? Open the door, flee, and tarry not. Khan, Yashua?
So I can say, if I may, what I'll say, don't be late, don't be tardy, keep straight business as usual.
What does the definition exactly say?
To delay or be tardy in action or doing. B, no lingering, and
That's the one you want.
Come.
Don't linger. It doesn't necessarily mean tarry or delay or linger. Don't waste time. Leave and don't waste time. Why is he saying that? Khan.
So I can say, if I may.
Khan, say what you're going to say.
Because the Most High raised him to be king, so take action immediately. So.
He already did the action. He already made him king. He's saying after that, leave quickly. Why? You have to know a little bit about history and know. You have to know a little bit about how history works, how governments work, and lastly, has anyone here ever read David's anointing? Okay, let me. Long story short, this is illegal. Yeah, you can't do that. I'm the king on the throne, and you just gonna go and make another cat king? Yeah, I'll cut your head off. That's treason. You're planning a coup. You are literally sitting here and trying to put another person in power while I'm in power. That's illegal. Samuel, the Most High told Samuel, go to Bethlehem and anoint one of Jesse's sons king. Saul finds out he's going to kill him. Tell him you're going to make a sacrifice. And when he rode into town, the first thing they asked, You come here peaceably, you here to kill somebody. Now I'm just here doing a sacrifice. But I do need the sons of Jesse to be here for that sacrifice, though. He's telling this cat, go do the anointing, make him king, then get out of town for somebody sees you. Come.
Are you something similar to that in Solomon?
What you mean?
With Solomon, well,
okay, Solomon is a bit different because Solomon's different in this instance. The man who actually sat on the throne authorized Solomon's, what's it called? Saul did not authorize David, nor did this cat authorize this other cat. Right, you understand? David actually said, Solomon's mother came to David saying, yo, didn't you promise Solomon would be king? Yeah, what are you talking about? Your other older son's trying to be king. I didn't authorize that. And guess what happened? He let him live that time, but eventually did kill him. That was a death penalty offense. He could have died for that, his son. If I'm not mistaken, some of the people actually did die. Okay. 4. So the young man, even the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. 5. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, unto which of all us? And he said, to thee, O captain. Right? 6. And he arose and went into the house. And he poured the oil on his head and said unto him, thus saith the most high power of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of the Lord, even over Israel. Just so you know, so you have an understanding. The minute oil touches your head, you have that rank. Like David was probably like 15, 16. The minute Samuel put the oil on his head, Saul was no longer the king. David was our rightful king. Okay, so regardless of what physical title you may hold, so long as you got that oil part on your head, yeah, you are whatever the Most High says you are. Okay. 7. Thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord Most High at the hand of Jezebel, because Jezebel went around killing prophets. 8. And the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I'll make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. So this is the third lineage to rule Israel. Oh, she ain't even dead yet. So so Jezebel must have died as an old woman. You familiar, sir?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because
If I may say lucky, if I remember, she received a warning that the Most High was going to do to her. She was like, whatever, and waiting for her to break.
John, yeah, I already know the story of exactly what happened to Jezebel. Like, she got eaten by a bunch of dogs. You're probably going to read that in a second.
I think it was, I may be wrong. I think it was right after the rightful rulership took the kingdom back. I think they just pushed out the window. She died from falling, I believe. I'm not sure.
I know it was around that time, but I thought she was younger when she died.
Oh,
but if I'm not mistaken, her son's already in power. He seems older, so she might be up there in years. She might have, and I would let that be a lesson to you. The Most High will let you get old, just to have dogs eat you. Like, imagine being an old woman, like, thought you got away with everything, and then out of nowhere you fall off a ledge, and you still alive. Imagine falling 5 stories, still alive, and when you just like, help me, the only person who comes are a group of dogs that are eating you. Give the Most High. All right, okay, let me see. That was what 10. All right, come. So let me try to do this quick. We in this is what 4 now, right? Come. So stop at 16. Wa'af ayazabal ya akal ha kalabyum. Kalabyum means dogs. Bakalak yazarai alam. Salakia. Wa'ayan, Kwabar, Wayapatak, Hadalaf, Yanas. Salakia, there's a few B bodies in there if you want one for them yourself. Yahawa, Yataza, Al, Ibadia, Adanyua, Waya Amar Lawa, Ha Shalom, Madawai, Baal, Hama Shagai, Hazar, Al Yaka, Waya Amar, Ala Yaham, Atham, Yadai Tham, Al, Ha Ayash, Wa'af, Shayakwa, 12, Waya Amarwa, Shakwar, Hagad, Naab, Lanawa, Waya Amar, Kazaaf, Wa Kazaaf, Amar, Alaya, Lamar Ka Amar, Yahawah, Ma Shakath, Yaka, La Malak, Al Yasharala. 13, Waya Maharwa, Waya Kwakwa, Ayash, Bagadwa, Waya Shayamwa, Takath Yawa, Al Garam, Ha Ma'ilwa, Watakwaiwa, Ba Shawapar, Waya Amarwa, Malak Yahawa, 14, Waya Takwashar, it's like Yahawa Ban, Yahawa Shapat Ban, Namashia, Al Yawaram, Yawaram, Haya Shamar, Baramath, Galai, Hawa'a, Wakal, Yashrala, Mapanya, Hazal, Malak, Aram, Ayashab, Yahawaram, Hamlak, Laha Tarapa, Bayazarayo, Man, Hamakyam, Ashar, Yakawa, Aramyam. We have 15 now, by the way. Bahalakamawa, Af, Kazal, Malak, Aram, Waya Amar, Yahawal, Am, Yashab, Napashkam, Al, Napashkam is probably your souls plural. Al, Yatazal, Palayat, Man, Ha'ayan, Lalakaf, Lagayad, Bayazarail, 16, Waya Rakab, Yakan, Yahawa, Wayalak, Yazarai Allah, Kaya, Yawaram, Shakab, Shema, Wa'akazya, Malak, Yahawada, Yarad, Lara'a, wal Af, Yaharam, Yawaram. Alright.
What set is this?
This is the fourth set. Come. And the dog shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled, just like the Most High told him, because this not only did you just sit there and basically commit treason, right? What would that really be called, sir? Sir, Salakia, if I went and basically made another man king, what's the proper term for that? I know that would technically be considered treason, but is there another term for that as well?
No, this is treason.
Basically, yeah, that's treason. So that
to be king?
Yeah, like David, but this is another time when the Most High told, Elisha told the prophet to go anoint a brother in the name of the Most High, and then he told the cat, don't even tarry, just leave right afterwards, because it's a crime. Like, that's what's it called, yeah. Like, flee afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a crime. You can't Like, I'm sitting on the throne, and you got one cat sitting on the throne, and then you're gonna go make another cat king. So he had to do his job and then leave. And then to make it worse, you didn't even just make a new man king. You made a new man king, then threatened the life of the queen. Like, imagine, I don't even know if you do that right now in England. Yeah, the queen's about to get eaten by a bunch of dogs. I'm pretty sure the UK's police force will knock on your door at least to question, yeah, why you said that about the king being eaten by dogs? You know that's a crime to threaten the king's life, right? The queen's life, right? And he just did it. You need to leave town immediately after doing both those things. Mind you, he said it to a captain in this cat's army. Okay? Gone. Then 11, then Jehu came forth to the servants of his Lord, and one said unto him, Is all well? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And that should let you know something. Well, you know what mad means, right? What?
Mad, like crazy.
Right. So what is he calling this guy? Why? And why?
Say the question again, sir.
What is he calling this cat and why? It's very simple.
Oh, because he sounded like he threatened the queen.
Huh?
Right? Said so.
Well, actually, he did that in private. He took him in the back, right, and then came back out. But why is he calling him mad? Yahshua.
If I may, because he doesn't believe what he's saying is going to happen to him.
Well, no one else heard it, because that's why they're asking, yo, what did he want? Like, what that crazy nigga want? Right? Shaw, let me see if you can get it. Why did he call him mad? Very simple. Who is this guy? If you read, let me help you. Okay, read verse Salagia. I'm not trying to do too much. Come. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets. So what is this cat? Come.
He's a prophet of the Most High.
So why did they call him mad?
Because they didn't believe.
Give me a little more. I'll give it to you for time. They've always called us crazy. The prophets, right, have always been looked at as basically crazy. Right? We've always been looked at as terrorists. Right? This is our nation, though. Mind you, these are those of our people whose parents basically killed the prophets, though. So, come. Right? It is, and he said unto them, Ye know the man and his communication. Meaning, like, y'all already know, like, what he's about. He's one of the sons of the prophets. He's one of them UPK cats.
Are you making captain?
Come. 12, and they said, It is false. Tell us now. Salakia, sir. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus saith the Most High, I have anointed thee king over Israel. 13. Then they hasted and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. 14. So Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria. But King Joram was returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your minds, then let none go forth, nor escape out of the city, to go to tell it in Jezreel. So Jehu rode in a chariot and went to Jezreel, for Joram lay there. And Ahaziah, king of Judah, was come down to Joram, to see Joram. So he's going to deal with this cat, right, who's technically sitting in his seat. At the same time, and he also basically tells everybody, don't let nobody leave town, though. Like, now that it's known, like, nobody can leave Harlem now that it's a known fact I'm now the mayor. I gotta kill the old mayor now first. So nobody's allowed to leave town until I do that, because I don't want this cat knowing somebody's trying to kill him. So he goes to the town where he's at, right? Because the cat's still healing from trying to fight the Syrians. At the same time, the king of Judah is also going to see this cat just to deal with him. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're brother-in-laws. Because it is the same cat. Yeah, they're brother-in-laws. They're brother-in-laws, and they may also be further related. I gotta find out who Omri is. I don't think that's what's it called. But yeah, they might be further related, but they're at least brother-in-laws. What was that? 17, right? And this is 5. Let me do this quick. Wahatazabha Imad Al Hamagad Dal Bayazarai Al Wayara Al Shapai Yahawa Babao Wayamar Shapai Anya Ra Wayamar Yahawaram Kwak Rakab wa Shalak Lakwaratham wa Ya'mar ha Shalom 18 wa Yalak Rakab ha Sawasa Lakwarath wa Ya'mar ka Amar ha Malak ha Shalom wa Ya'mar ha Yahawah Ma laka wa la shalom sab al akaria wa yagad ha tazapa la amar yaka ba ha malak I ham wala shab 19 wa ya shalak Rakab, Sawasa, Shanya, Wayaba, Allaham, Wayamar Ka Amar, Hamalak Shalom, Wayamar Yahawa, Ma Laka, Wa La Shalom, Sabah, Al Akaria, 20, Wayagad, Ha Tazapa, La Amar, Ba Al Allah Yaham, Wala Shab, Waha Manahag, Ka Manahag, Yahawa Ban, Namashya, Ka Kaya, Basha Gaiwan, Yanahag, 21, Waya Amar, Yahawa Ram, Asar, Waya Asar, Rakabwa, Waya Tata, Yahawa Ram, Malak, Yashrala, Wa Akaz Yahweh, Malak, Yahawada, Ayash, Barakabwa, Waya Tata, Lakwarath, Yahweh, Waya Mataza, Bakalakwaf, Nabawath, Ha Yazarai Yahweh, 22, Wayahayas, Karawa, Waf, Yahawa Ram, Ab, Yahawa, Waya Amar, Ha Shalom, Yahawa, Waya Amar, Ma, Ha Shalom, I, Zana 1, Ayazabal, Amak, Wa Kashabya, Harabya, Wa Hapak, Yahawaram, Yadayawa, Wa Yanas, Wa Yamar, Al, Akaz Yaw, Marama, Akaz Khan. That was the last one. Yeah, come. All right. Good. Timothy Slakia. This is 5, right? And there stood a watchman on the tower of Jezreel, and he spied the company of Jehu as he came and said, I see a company. And Joram said, take an horseman and send to meet them, and let him say, is it peace? I'm going to go back and get confirmation, but this could be one of those, this could be a precept for shalom. You'll find that often. So you know, shalom is black culture, like, but it's like, to understand, like, you can't walk up on it. We're not a race you can walk up on. I don't care if you smile. Walk up to a black person smiling. That black person will still get defensive and try to snuff the hell out you. First thing you got to tell a black man when you walk up to him is peace. Like, let him know how you're coming. Right? And that's where our greeting comes from, shalom. And yeah, I'm not trying to get snuffed in the face just to be like, yo, what's it called? We went to high school. Yeah, imagine. Like, yo, peace was good. Yo, what's going on, bro? You don't remember we went to the high school? Oh, word? Yeah, okay, no sweat. I was about to knock you the hell out. It'd be like that. So that's where peace comes from. I'll let you gentleman Hyman about this scripture, but I remember he broke it down like years ago in Philly, on the old Philly page. Man, I wish we still had that page. A lot of good gems was lost. 18. So there went out one on horseback to meet him and said, thus said the king, is it peace? And Jehu said, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, the messenger came to them, but he cometh not again. (19) Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them and said, thus saith the king, is it peace? And Jehu answered, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. Come follow. Basically, he's telling these guys, just follow me. Okay. 20. And the watchman told, saying, he came even unto them, and cometh not again. And the driving is like the driving of Jehu, the son of Nimshi, for he driveth furiously. Meaning, like, the way they're going, like, a watchman is basically someone who sits in a large tower. I believe they even say he's in a tower. Yeah, in a tower, watchman on a tower. So he can see someone from probably like Times Square, let's say. Let's say Times Square is like a day's journey, right? It's only like an hour. But Times Square is like a day's journey from here. He sees them, and it's like, early in the morning, they send somebody out. Yeah, nothing, right? And it's like, he's coming quickly. And as he gets there, it's like, yo, this cat moved like Jehu's company. Because remember, you go back and read, Jehu's a captain inside of Joram's army at the time. So he's saying he's moving, driving fast, meaning the chariots and horses are moving at top speed, right? 21, and Joram said, make ready, and his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot, and they went out against Jehu and met him in the portion of Naboth, the Jezreelite. 22, and it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. Right? So basically he's saying, I can't have peace with a Christian.
Right.
Right? And 23, and Joram turned his hand and fled and said to Ahaziah, there is treachery, O Ahaziah. Yo, they basically treason. They're committing treason, which is what I said earlier. Technically, now understand, when I say treason, this is illegal, you cannot do this, I'm talking about paper, physical, earthly law. Like I said earlier, the minute that oil touch your head, you are whatever God said you were. So, what's it called? He is. So at this point, the cat talking about your mama's a filthy, disgusting Christian is the rightful king of Israel. And you just a cat who gets to sit in a nice chair, really. Same thing with David. David was inside some goddamn grotto or by some goddamn river, smelling like sheep piss. That is the rightful king of our nation. While some other cat gets to wear silk pants and what's it called, get to sit in a lovely chair with a nice, beautiful golden sword. All his children and family is all decked out. The rightful king of our nation is out having to fight lions and bears, though. Right? So what is that? 24. So 30. Yeah, time. All right. And this is 6 now, or is this 5?
This will be number 6.
John, my sign first. Let's finish this off. John. YAHANNA Malal Yada Dua Bakwashath YAHUK Av Yahawaram Bayaz Zarai Yoa Wayatazal Ha Katazaya Malab Yoa Wayakarai Barakab Waya Amar al Ba the Kwar Shalasha Shal Ha Shalakawa Bakalak Kwaf Shada Nabawath Haya Zarai al Ya Kaya Zakar Anya Wa'atha Ath Rakabium Tazamadiyum Akaria Akaba Abayoa Hawa Nasha Alyo Ab Ha Masha Haza 26 Am La'am Ab Damya Nabawaz Wa'az Damya Ban Yoa Ra'ayah Ya Amash Nam Yahweh Wa Shalamath Ya Laka Bakalakwa Hazav Naam Yahweh Wa'itha Shah Shalakawa Bakalakwa Kadabar Yahweh 27 Wa'akazaya Malak Akazaya is a Ahazia. Malak Yahweh Ra'a Wayanas Darak Bayath Hagan Wayaradap Akar Yoa Yahweh Waya Amar Gam Athwa Hakawa Al Hamarakaba Bamaila Gawar Ashar of Yabalain Wayanas Gada Magadwa Wayamath Sham 28 Wayarakabwa Athwa Ibad Yoa Yarawashalam Wayakwabar Athwa Bakwabarath An Abath Yoa Ba'ayar Dawada Wabashana Akath Aishara Shana Layawaram Ban Akaba Malak Akazya Ayo Yahawada 30 Yakan 30 Baba'a Yahweh Yazarai Allah Wa Ayazabal Shemai Watasham Ba Pawak I.N.Y. Wata Yatab Av Ra'asha Wata Shakwat Ba'id Hakal one. Okay. All right. 24. And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength and smote Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow went out of his heart. Dang. Nothing. Went out through his heart. Okay? And he sunk down in his chariot. Right? 25. Then Jehu to Bidkar, his captain, take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Jezreelite. For remember how that when I and thou rode together after Ahab his father, the Lord, the Most High, laid this burden upon him. Because Ahab thought it was cool to steal another man's land. So he's like, no sweat. Buried his son's body in the land of the man whose land he stole. Right? Surely I have seen the blood of Naboth and the blood of his son, saith the Most High, and I will requite thee in this plat, saith the Most High. Now therefore, take and cast him into the plat of ground. A plat is like a portion, this piece, according to the word of the Most High. But when Ahaziah, the king of Judah, saw this, he fled by the way of the garden house. And Jehu followed after him and said, smite him also in the chariot. And they did so after going up to Gor, which is Abilim. And he fled to Megiddo and died there. 28. And his servants carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in a sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David. John. And in the 11th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, began Ahaziah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her head, and looked out a window. Baba Kasha, Barakaza, water bubble strip. I'll use this for now. Salakia. So this is number 7, right? No sign creams. Oh, so we're gonna start this, end it off. Alright. YAHANNA Ba'a Basha'ir Wata Amar SHALAM Zamaria Harag Adanyua Wayasha Panyua Al Kalawan Waya Amar Maya Afia Maya Waya Shakwa Ya Power Al Yawa Shamyam Shalasha Sarayasayam Waya Amar Shamat Wawa Waya Shamatwa Wayaz Madama Al Hakwayar Wal Hasawasayam Wayaramasan 34 Wayabal Wayakal Wayashaf Wayamar Pakwadwa Naaf Af Haarawara Hazav Wakwabara Kaya Af Malak Haya Walakwa Lakwabara Wala Matazaawa Ba Kaya Hagalgalaf Waharagalyam, Waka Kapawath, Hayadayam, Wayashabwa, Wayagayadwa, Lawa, Waya Amar, Dabar, Yahawa, Ahawa, Ashar, Dabar, Bayad, Ibadwa, Al Yo, Hatashabia, Lamar, Bakalak, Yazarayo, Ya Akalia, well, Ha Kalabya, Ab Bashar, Ayazabal. Yazabal, okay. Okay. Wahaya, Nabalath, Ayazabal. Oh, so this is supposed to be an A, Jezebel. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So Jezebel is Ayazabal. Kadaman, Ayu, Panya, Hashada, Bakalak, Yazarayo, Ashar, La'a, Ya Amarwa, Za'af, Hayazabal, Ayazabal, Za'af, Ayazabal. Now in English, 31. But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law. Oh, no, it's not. That's a bit of a spoiler. But here's where we are now. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace, who slew his master? 32. And he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked after him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses. And he trod her underfoot. What does that mean, he trod her underfoot? Like, what exactly did he do? Come.
So you tried her under the foot?
Underfoot, yeah.
Or you trying to say that once you know what I'm saying, once they did that, he like stepped on him?
Yes, but more than likely he didn't step on her, like physically. More than likely. Because this is a king coming into town. How do kings come into town walking? Now mind you, here's the first thing. She's in a window, right? And she's looking at all this happen. And he just says, yeah, and she shouts down, right? Like, yo, the battle went good, like, what's going on? He ignores her. Who's with me? 2 people behind her, like, we with you. You push her out that window. Click. Then what? She falls, some of the blood gets on his horses, keeps going. The trotted under, he more than likely rode over her. Like the horse or the chariot or both. Yeah, that's how little respect he had for that African bitch. Salafi. She killed hundreds of prophets. This woman killed hundreds of prophets. And anyone who didn't agree with her way of thinking. Yeah, the Most High did. Like, understand, like, Most High hated her so much, he sent an angel to a church to tell niggas, your women are acting like that bitch. Stop it. That's in Revelation, Slakia, that's the 2nd chapter, right? When it says your women have the spirit of Jezebel.
Right, yeah.
Yakan. That's how much he hates that woman. Centuries later, yeah, I still don't want y'all trying to emulate this woman. Let me keep going and finish this off. Right? 34. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink and said, go see now this cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. But at the end of the day, you're going to have a little dignity with her. Because at the end of the day, she's royalty. Okay? 35. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. So So just the head. It's not. What's going on, sir? We'll 2 seconds, like 5 minutes, sir.
What's up, sis?
5 minutes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So all they felt was the head, right? No neck, no butt, no torso, right? The hands, no arms, no shoulders, right? And the feet, no legs, no stomach, no none of that, right? 36. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, "This is the word of the Most High, which he spake by his servant Elijah, the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel." 37. And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, face of the field, in the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, "This is Jezebel." Meaning what? These people, meaning what? He completely eradicated this woman. He completely got rid of every trace of this woman for her evil deeds. Okay? With that, I march him up here. Slack, up here. No. Slack here. Like, we need to get a what's it called for this, find the right one. Take that damn little shop, Sam's ass. What is it, Sam Goods? They still have Sam Goods Peralta's not really, right? Yeah, okay. What do people go for their instrument needs now? Because I know Sam Goods used to be the place.
For instruments?
Yeah, because we just need a mouthpiece for this. If anybody, you might want to take your specific trumpet. This is for anyone in Sabbath service. If you're looking to get a mouthpiece, you might want to take the specific trumpet. We tried to get one, but it couldn't fit inside the slot. So you might want to take your specific trumpet down to the instrument place and have them measure it and see if they have a good mouthpiece to go with it. This is okay. It's just kind of getting your lips right on the right spot. Because it's a little curved, it's a little difficult at times. So you definitely want to do that, because for those who don't know, you're not blowing into this. You are vibrating your lips around this. When you vibrate your lips around this, the sound travels and creates a sound because it gets stuck in here. What happens really is that this whole thing vibrates, and that vibration, the air basically comes in here and starts to just basically funnel out. I used to take music class, so I know these things. That YAHANNA, which means to Israel. That was too much. You got it. Gotta place it right. That I imagine, which means to stand. Get out of here. South Panya Hakudam, which means time face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemaya. Wadah. Hayah. Shukah. Yahawah. Barakaka. Taba'ah. Ratzaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratasa. Suwa. Hayah. Bashemaya. Talanawa. Kam. One. Masalaknawa, Kabwaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabwaknawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'ayanawa, Banisaya 1, Abal, Kabushaynawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Ha'ala, Tapara, Abalamya, Aman. In the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in
This
heaven.
day,
This day,
our daily bread,
daily bread.
and forgive us our debts,
Forgive our debt,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
The power in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Nathan Nawa,
Thundernaw,
Hakak,
Hakar,
Hakak,
Hakar,
Laba'ah,
Laba'ah,
Kamakala,
Kamallah,
Kamarawah,
Kamallah,
Hakak,
Hakar,
Latahal,
Latahal,
Hamatazariah,
Hatazariah,
Hakak,
Hakar,
Lahakia,
Lahaki,
Amathia,
Amathi,
Hakak,
Hakar,
Arakawa,
Hakar,
Tama'ala,
Tama'ala,
Legarashan,
Son,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
the water Aman.
Water Amon,
In English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
name Yahushua,
please,
please,
give us the power,
give us the power,
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all men of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
and all men of disease,
power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the leper,
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
power to cleanse unclean spirits,
power to unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahushua,
Name Yahushua,
thank you,
thank you,
so be it.
so be it.
Bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Barak Lanawa,
Barakinawa,
Wayasharala,
Barashah,
Wahabayasapaya, Barak,
Barak,
Rafa'ah,
Barak,
Magan,
Agon,
Hagan,
Agon,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
the water Aman.
Water Amon,
In English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in Yahushua,
name Yahushua,
bless us
bless us,
and Israel
and Israel,
and the school.
and the school,
And Salakia, bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect.
protect,
The name of Yahushua,
name Yahushua,
thank you,
thank you,
so be it.
so be it.
Barak in the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Why Yahushua,
Why Yahushua,
Why Mayaka Allah,
Why
Taza Salakia, Why Alahayim,
Yahushua,
Mataza Bi'ah,
Mabudaya,
Alawafi Yahanna,
Awafia,
Ha Alawafi,
Ha Awafia,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Sarang,
Ha Kotazayanyam,
Ha Kazarani,
Ha Kayayayim,
Ha Karani,
Ha Kwatim,
Ha Kwafia,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Wada Aman.
Water Amon,
Bless you, Yah, in the English, bless you, Yahweh,
bless you,
and
Yahweh,
Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yohana,
Commander
the
General,
generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captain,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the troopers,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
name Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you,
So be it.
so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayani,
Al-Ahayim,
Ayahon,
Mayan,
Ayah,
Yaba'ah,
Yabah,
Isaiah,
Isaiah,
Isaiah Man, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shalom,
Waratiza,
Aratza,
Ayathan,
Ayathan,
Lanawat,
Ayawat,
Galka,
Agal,
Ayanulam,
Ayawat,
Shamaka,
Shamal,
Hanala'a,
Kamal,
Oyanawam,
Kamal,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Yayishan,
Yashon,
Shalomah,
Shalomah,
Yasharala,
Yashahal,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamak,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tzalka,
Yahweh,
Aliyah,
Ayom,
Yamyanka,
Yamyanka,
Yawmam,
Malamon,
Hashamash,
Yashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Mayara,
Ayawat,
Balayala,
Malayawam,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yamar,
Makalarad,
Yashamash,
Yashamar,
Yashamash,
Azmapashka,
Yashamash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamash,
Taza'aka,
Tazarah,
Wabuaka,
Marah,
Ma'aika,
Ma'ak,
Ma'ai.
Ayawam.
English, I will lift up mine eyes into the
I
hills.
will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence comes my help?
My help comes from Yahweh,
My help comes from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
who made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer my foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He will keep a thee,
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he will keep Israel.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
He will slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is our keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is our shade by our right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite me by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh will preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh will preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
And from this time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and be evermore.
Salafi. God, Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayam.
YAHANNA.
Adam Yalaka.
Adam YAHANNA.
Ata Karash.
Ata Kurash.
Ata Shakwat.
YAHANNA.
All. Kayahana.
YAHANNA.
Alayamika.
YAHANNA.
Yahama Yawan.
YAHANNA.
Wamashanayaka.
YAHANNA.
Nasha'awa.
YASHALAM.
Ra'ash.
YAHANNA.
A'imaka.
YAHANNA.
Ya'ariyamwa. Sawad. Wayatai Aitazwa. Altazawanyaka. Amara. Wakawa. Wanakakira. Magoya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Sham Yasharala. I1. Kaya. Nawa Aitazawa. La. Ikadwa. Ayaka. Baya. Yakarakwa. Ahaya. Adawam. Washama Aliyah. Mawaba. Wahagaya. Gabal. Wa'anwan. Wa'amala. Al-Shah. I'm Yashabia. Tazawar. Kan Ashua. Nalawa. Ainam. Ayawa. Zarawai. Labanya Lawat. Salah. I.S.U.P.K. Kamadian. Kasaya Sara'a. Kayabian. Barakar. Kwayashwan. Nashimadwa. Bayanda Ara. Hayawa. Daman. La'adama. Shaitamwa. Nadayamwa. Kaira. Wakaza'aba. Wakazabak. Wakazamana. Karma Kamwa. Ashar. Amara. Nairashah. Lanawa. Nawa. Al-Hayam. Shaitamwa. Kagandra. Kagwash. Lafanya Raka. Kaash. Shala'ira. Wakalahaba. Talaat. Hayam. Kantara Datma. Basa America. Wabasa Paska. Tabalam. Malaha. Panyam. Kwalawan. Wayakakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Wayabahawa. Idai. Wayakapawa. Wayabadwa. Wayadaiwa. Kaya. Ata. Shamka. Yahawa. Labaka. Ayawan. I will call her Aratasa. In English, keep not thy silence or power. Or not thy peace. And be not still. Or power. Below. Thine enemies make it the most. And they that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
In the name of Israel be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are consulting together with one consent.
They are conspiring against thee.
They are conspiring against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And Hagrid. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. And Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Also, a sword is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabez. At the brother of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zahel. Yea. Or their princes. As Sabbath. And as Amunah. Who said, let us take to ourselves ourselves
take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh in possession.
because of how we possess.
Of my power,
All my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a
as
wheel,
a stumble before the wind,
as they stumble before the wind,
as the fire burns the wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
and as the flame shuts the mountains on fire.
as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with our tempest,
So persecute them with our tempest,
and make them afraid with our storm,
and make them afraid with our storm,
that they fill their face with shame,
that they fill their face with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
they will seek thy name.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish.
that men may know
And then they know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone is
and then they know is
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
art the Most High
of the Most High,
over all the earth.
of the whole earth.
In English, in cursive in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed be Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
and then you shall
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils
And evil
and curses
and curses
and punishment
and
and
punishment
destruction
and
to
destruction
the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
the
the
prophets,
teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the
the
priests,
Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the schools,
Send evils and curses
and evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure
and shake loose the
of the
treasure
rich of Israel
of the rich of Israel,
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school,
Force their riches
force their riches,
to enter into thy
and
sanctuary.
then thy sanctuary,
Send evils and curses
that evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites
to the Edomites,
and the nation
to the nation,
and to their drug dealers,
and drug dealers,
court system,
court system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
MLS synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Cross Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
posse comitatus,
Quasi Comitatus,
gay movement,
gay movement,
lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
national space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines.
Marine.
Open up the internet
Open up the internet,
and the airwaves,
and the airways,
cable access channel,
cable access channel,
and the radio
and
channel.
the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of our people
of many of our people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek and stop
and
us,
bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all the evil
that stand in the way
that stand in the way,
or try to stop us
that try to stop us
from broadcasting your
from
words
broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plague,
And loose all the planes,
cause them to go to and fro
all to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague
Let the plague
shake the house of the thief
take the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahushua,
Then Yahweh,
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel,
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathen
and punish all the evil
that come up against us
that's come up against us
as we speak thy word,
as we speak thy word.
causing you known by all
Come and know my all.
that is the angels that have done it,
And the angels that have done it
causing it to spread through the
are
media
going to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world,
throughout the whole world.
causing to shake it thy coming.
Going to shake through our coming.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahweh,
thank you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sorry, which means to turn. Yeshua says, which means to be seated. Salakia, man of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Yeah, cut now. Khan. Man of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine.